Hey, hi everybody, it's the Papa from the Papa's Kitchen, and I wanted to do a short little video for you today because this is a short little recipe. It doesn't take really a lot of ingredients, and it doesn't certainly take that much time.
But where are you? This doesn't look like your kitchen.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know where, no, I know where I'm at. I am in Lincoln for about 5 weeks. Earlier this year, in fact late last year, Solo and Sarah talked to me, and it's been 10 years since I turned the church over to them and asked if I would be willing to take some time from my schedule in the summer and give them a little bit of time off from the day-to-day aspects. So I even spent some time today in the office, and I'm not back in my old office because I used to sit there, but I'm using a desk, and it's been sort of fun, and he's got me doing a few things he's asked me to handle for him, and I'm doing that. And I'm up here for 5 weeks, so when I stay here, Susan and I stay at our friends Howard and Sharon. And they provide us a beautiful bedroom and a...
Now, how do some of you people know them as Uncle Howard and Aunt Sharon?
That's how the kids call them, and that's because they're family. And Aunt Sharon, even babysat Susan, the Nana.
When I was little.
When she was little.
I was 10, I remember.
But that does not mean that Aunt Sharon is old.
No, not at all.
It's just that she was just a little older. And then served as a missionary for years in Kenya. And we would visit her often over there. And then about when she was in her 60s, she retired from there. She came back to Lincoln where she had a house built for herself. It's a beautiful place. It actually used to be right across the street from where Susan and I lived. And actually, it was across the street at one time where Sarah and Solo had built a house. And she married her husband, Howard. They're living happily ever after here in this house in Lincoln, and also at a place down in Fort Lauderdale. Having said all of that, I am going to make dinner for them tonight. I'm doing a pork loin. I found some good sales on pork loins, and which is an easy meal. It's great tasting. I love pork. And I wanted to do a bacon jam on top of it. And I think I've done a bacon jam recipe before, but I found a little different one I want to sort of try. And I love bacon jam. It's going to go good on this pork loin. It goes good on lamb sliders. It goes good on hamburger. Oh my goodness. Listen, anything with bacon and onion, it's got to go good with something. So
and called jam.
And it's called jam. So it's got that thick, just wonderful. You'll see. So anyhow, I'm knocking out some prep. Got a pound of bacon, thick cut. I got it into small little pieces here, and that's going to get... I've got 2 shallots cut up. I am going to cut up and get ready one white onion that I've got right here. And then we're going to add some, we add maple syrup. We add apple cider vinegar, excuse me. A little bit of cayenne pepper, all sorts of good stuff. You'll see. All right, here's what I've done. I did a pound of bacon. I cut it real small, fried it up in the pan. So I'm using a saucepan. And what I'm going to do now, I reserved 4 tablespoons of bacon grease. We're going to put this back in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the shallots, and I have 2 shallots cut up and 1 onion cut up. And we're going to get those really nice and caramelized. And it's going to take about 15 or 20 minutes in this bacon grease. But oh, it's going to be so good. You want these to be caramelized to a good dark brown color. And then what we'll do is add the bacon. Well, we'll add some garlic in there. We'll add the bacon back in. And oh, my hands start to shake.
Oh, and it's hot over
there. All of you know that. Yeah, I know it. Sharon, I'm going to buy you. It's a gift from me, from Papa's Kitchen to you. I'm going to buy you a nice big old wooden cutting board. All right, and so we're going to get that going. And those onions and everything on that medium to medium low heat for about 15-20 minutes, and we'll just keep stirring. They are going to get, like I said, very caramelized. They'll sweat down, and some of that junk, beautiful fond on the bottom is going to come up with that and make this all real tasty. In the meantime, I need you to get a half a cup of brown sugar. You're going to use a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar. We're going to use a little bit of cayenne pepper. And I'm going to be careful how much chili pepper. Is chili pepper or cayenne pepper? Let me look at my note. Chili pepper. Oh, sorry, chili pepper. Yeah, I'm sorry. And a quarter cup of some good maple syrup as well. And we're going to use...
How much chili powder? I missed that because you got in my way.
Well, here we go. Let me look at my notes. 1 teaspoon of chili powder. I do want to tell you this, what this recipe calls for, and what I'm going to add here. See how that is all coming up? Beautiful. What I'm going to add here is 3 tablespoons of whiskey. And this is going to give it, because it'll burn off, it'll dry, you know, I've got Knob Creek. 3 tablespoons of that near the end as well. The alcohol burns off, but that leaves that rich, dark, caramelized flavor in this bacon jam. And while this is cooking, I'm actually going to take time to get the rest of my dinner prepared. I've got to prepare my pork loin. Won't take too long to cook that in that cast iron. And I've got a Caesar salad in the bag that we're going to put together. And for my friend Howard, I am going to make him some special sweet potatoes, cut up, cubed up, with a nice little bit of syrup on top as we roast them in the pan.
And we have an audience right here of 2.
As you can see, my onion, my shallots have browned up very nicely. That fond has all come up pretty much on the bottom. I just added my garlic and stirred that in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. 1, 2. Oh, that smells so good. 3. I'm going to do half a cup of brown sugar. There we go. In fact, I'm going to take this down a little bit. I'm going to do a quarter cup of maple syrup. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix that all around. And again, that fond is all nice and coming up. And you can see what that does with all that onion in there. This is just good, folks. And I'm telling you, this goes so good on so many different meats, including hamburgers. And who doesn't like onion on a burger anyhow? Well, some don't, I suppose.
Bacon and onion.
Yeah, okay. And then finally, I'm going to put in the rest of the bacon that I cooked, and that's going to go in there. And I'm going to stir that all around. We want every bit of that. Looking good. And that's very hot, but that's very good because this is all going to cool. And yet, it really doesn't need to cool too much for our meal tonight. That's looking very good. And then all we're going to do is we're going to take this in just a minute. Oh, I need to do the chili powder. You've got 1 teaspoon of that coming.
Just thinking about it makes me cough.
It makes you cough. Yeah, that's psychosomatic. Now that's what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Now watch, I'm going to sneeze.
I know you will.
Just thinking about it.
Okay, now that's all stirred in there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this from the heat, and I'm going to add in my, before I do that, let me just put the pork loins on. Begin to sear these. There we go. We'll get those going. Now, the only other thing I'm going to do, 3 tablespoons. I can open it. This is how little I use it. 3 tablespoons of that bourbon. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. And we're going to stir that around. And that, folks, we're going to let that cool down. It's going to solidify a little bit more. And that is going to be, it smells delicious. That is going to be your bacon jam.
Whiskey bacon jam.
Whiskey bacon jam, that's right. We're going to use that tonight as a topping for these beautiful pork loins. And there'll still be quite a bit left over. So as that cools down, I'm going to even put that in the fridge in a little bit and let that cool even a little bit more. And that'll be good. In the meantime, pork loin's going. You're going to cut these sweet potatoes up. We're going to saute those, and then we're going to be ready for dinner. Okay, everything got done. My pork came out good. I've got it sliced here, ready to go. And I just want to show you this beautiful bacon jam. And all I'm going to do is just lay that over these pieces. Just not a lot. You don't need a lot. Just sort of do it, and we can put some more on the table if people want more. But oh, does that make that good? And the pork is very juicy anyhow. It's even these more butt in here is just excellent. But that's what that is. I can't tell you how good that stuff is.
Tell us.
You're funny. It is good. Finger looking
I thought
good.
you were taking a whole spoon of it.
No, I'm not going to because it would be rude. But there you go. And look at here,
and
folks.
then the
I did my
potatoes.
sweet potatoes. And you do salt, butter, a little oil, salt, and pepper them while they're cooking. And then once they're done, pull them off and just drizzle
butter, yeah.
the drizzle just a little bit of maple syrup, and it just coats them beautifully.
And a Caesar salad
from the bag, and everybody's happy. So we're gonna eat. I hope you have a good meal. These folks are getting absolutely a phenomenal meal. They're just gonna thank me the rest of their lives. Probably leave me all their money, all their houses, all their lands, all their gold, their silver, their guns, cars. Enjoy your meal. We'll see you.
Good.